Well, good evening, everybody. Hope you are doing well on this Tuesday night. Time for a little bit of Demolition League action. Haven't played a Demolition League game in so we're back. Game number 9 total out of 270. Second game for each one of these two teams, Kansas City and Arizona. And starting pitchers, Zach Gallen for the Arizona Diamondbacks and left-hander Danny Duffy will be on the mound for the Kansas City Royals. The oddity in this is that when I looked up like I said, I'm not using the pitcher hitting cards that are listed here because everybody's defaulted to a 1 because in 2020 they didn't have the pitchers hitting. So went back to 2019, the previous season, and Danny Duffy is actually using pitcher hitting card number 2, the American League pitcher, whereas the National League pitcher Gallen's still using pitcher hitting card number 1. So it's a rare occasion where the American League pitcher is rated as a better hitter than the National League pitcher, and that's just something you don't see all that often, obviously. But it is a little bit of an oddity, at least I'm thinking it is. So game 2 between these two teams, Arizona and Kansas City. Arizona won the first game, so they are 1-0. Kansas City 0-1. Danny Duffy, his hold rating is a -3, and Perez is a -3 for a -6, but -5 is the best you can have. Gallen is a +3, and Kelly's a 0, so he is a +3. Both pitchers, 612 will be their injury check. If we roll a 612, we'll check for injury for them. We're at Chase Field in Arizona. Singles, lefties are 1-15, righties are 1-7, home runs 1-6, both sides of the plate. There you see the starting lineups. Of course, no DH because we are at the American League Park. So Zach Gallen will come out and finish his warm-up tosses. And the Royals will have Gordon, Merrifield, and Perez up in the first inning. I do have the game up on the Action PC computer, but I'm not going to score it while I play it. I'll score it after the fact. Just think the rhythm, I think it takes away from my rhythm. So we got our dice here, and we are ready to go. Actually, these are my standard dice, but they're kind of close to Arizona Diamondback colors, so it's not too bad that turned out that way. All right, so Zach Gallen against Alex Gordon. Runned away from Chase Field. 3-7, and that is a fly to center field. So Alex Gordon is out of there, 1 away. For Whit Merrifield, Merrifield playing center field in this game. He played all over. He played right field, center field, second base, left field, and first base. That's a 5-7, and that's a base on balls issued to Whit Merrifield. And with the +3 on Zach Gallen, Merrifield's going to be looking to get a lead. He needs a 2 through 5 or a 12 to obtain a good lead. And that's a 12. He gets the good lead. He's an 18, being held to 16, but the +3 makes it a 19. 1-19, he'll be safe. And if he's in there, it's a possible throwing error on Kelly, the catcher. His T rating is a 7. And it's a 9, so he does not throw it away. It's just a stolen base. So Merrifield's still second. He's in scoring position with 1 out for veteran Salvador Perez, the catcher. It's a 2-8 for Perez, and he will strike out. That is out number 2, strikeout number 1 for Gallen. And now in a clutch situation is Jorge Soler. And in the clutch, he loses a hit on 1-2 and on 2-3. So we'll see what happens here. 4-10 for Zach Gallen against the righties. A split chance. One's a single, and else he lines to short. He will line it to short, and that will end the inning. So the walk and the stolen base, Gallen is able to pitch around it. Go to the bottom of the first. It's Kansas City nothing, and Arizona coming to bat. Left-hander Danny Duffy on the mound for the Royals, and Arizona has used all right-handed starters. All 5 guys on the bench are left-handed. So everybody that hits right-handed is in the game, or in the starting lineup, I should say. So we're going to start out with Starling Marte. That's a 5-4, and that is a fly ball center field X. Center field is Merrifield. He's a 3E3. see what he can do defensively. Oh, the 3-1. Devil die strikes early. 1. That's going to probably be a double, most likely. 3-1 is a double. He's an E3, and that is an 8, so that shouldn't be a problem. It is not, but it will be a double. Starling Marte leads off with a double. Bad break there for the Royals. Brings up Ketel Marte. Switch hitter will bat right-handed against the lefty Duffy. That's a 4-8, and that is a base on balls. So Duffy in trouble here in the first. Brings up Eduardo Escobar, third baseman, switch hitter. Duffy could, that's a 1. Possible wild pitch. His wild pitch rating is an 11. And it is going to be a wild pitch on Duffy, so he's really struggling to start this game. He's having a rough time of it. Second and third, nobody out. It's early, so they're playing the infield back. They need outs. 5-7, switch hitter being right-handed is another walk for Duffy. That's going to load the bases. So how about the double and 2 walks load the bases for Christian Walker? Still nobody out. Infield still back for the double play. They just have to have some outs. 3-7, and that's a strikeout and a huge one for Danny Duffy. Now a double play would get him out of the inning. And it's going to be a lefty-on-lefty matchup with Cole Calhoun, right fielder. 2-7, and that's another strikeout for Duffy. So Duffy's coming back. Couple of strikeouts, and now it's bases loaded, 2 outs, clutch situation for shortstop Nick Ahmed against lefties. He gains a hit on 1-4, and that's it. Everywhere else he's neutral. That's a 2-4, not a 1-4, so he's going to strike out. So Duffy comes back and strikes out the side, and talk about a Houdini act. Duffy just pulled it. So after 1 complete, we got no score from Chase Field. Hello, RJL and DJ John from the left coast. All right, here is Maikel Franco. And I'm on the fence about ordering the Strat-O-Matic stuff this year. I really am on the fence. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with Strat-O-Matic this year as far as ordering new stuff. I might just stay status quo. Not sure. Here's Maikel Franco. It's a 6'10". 6'12" is the injury check, so 6'10" is okay, but it's not, maybe not okay for Zach Gallen. That's an in home run chance. 1-16, and that's a 6, and that's gone. Maikel Franco. Home run for Maikel Franco. Maikel Franco with a home run. Let me check his stats in game 1 and make sure he did not homer in the first game. I don't think he did. I'll have the score sheet in front of me. Actually, I can bring up. It would be easier to do it, won't it? Action PC, I can find the score sheets very, very easily, unlike Strat-O-Matic, where it's very difficult to go back and find those things. Make sure you save on Action PC. They save automatically. And so you never quite know what's going to happen here. So if I go back to the first game, let me pull up them. I'm going to bring that box score up so I can have it up in front of me. Arizona won the first game 4-1. And let's check the thing here for Franco. No, he was 0-4 in the first game, so his first home run. But it puts the Royals on the board. And they lead it 1-0. Here's Ryan O'Hearn. That's a 4-10, and that's going to be a ballpark single check, which is a 1-15 for lefties. Very nice number to have, and 1-15 fits that base hit well with an 8. So O'Hearn is aboard. Brings up Mondesi, one of the few guys with an A bunt rating. But you got the bottom of the order coming up, including the pitcher, so probably not a good time to bunt right now. Not that there ever is a good time to bunt. 5-7. And Mondesi is switcher batting left. That's a strikeout. Out number 1, strikeout number 2 for Gallen. And that'll bring up second baseman Nicky Lopez. Lopez. Nothing on the havoc. At the 3-8 for Lopez. Ground ball pitcher B, so it's a fielder's choice. They'll go 1 to 6 for the fielder's choice. Lopez will reach. 2 away now for the pitcher, Danny Duffy. He will be using pitcher hitting card number 2 for Duffy. He is a left-handed pitcher and a left-handed batter. That's a 1-3, and that's going to be a ground ball to second. That will end the inning, but the home run from Maikel Franco puts the Royals ahead 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the second. All right. It's actually balmy here today, up around 45 degrees. Got a lot of ice melting done, which was nice. Now we can walk around the driveway without falling down. Here's Carson Kelly. 1-4, and that's a pop out to second base. 1 away. For Tim LeCastro, the left fielder. That's a 1-11 against the lefty. He's going to pop it up to short. So 2 pop outs in a row. And that takes us to the pitcher, Zach Gallen, who uses pitcher hitting card number 1. We get a 3-10. That's a ground ball to third, and that will end the inning. Duffy, a 1-2-3 inning. One thing I forgot to check on the roster sheet. Let me pull that back up and see if Gallen has a separate run rating. I don't think he does, but I'll double check it. He does not. So they both run at a 10. All right. Especially with this 2020, very few pitchers are going to be given separate run ratings, but you never know. Always need to check it out just to be sure. All right. So we go to the top of the third, 1-0 ball game. Top of the order for Alex Gordon. Alex Gordon. Hello, Thomas. Good to see you. 4-8. That is a base on balls. So another walk. Second one issued by Gallen. Gordon, not much of a threat to run, though. He'll hold. And here's Whit Merrifield. 5-7. And that's another walk. So Gallen has now walked 3. 2 in a row. First 2 were aboard on walks, and that brings up Salvi Perez, who did strike out his first time. 4-6, and that's a strikeout for Gallen. So Perez 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Having a rough day, or a rough night, I should say. Here's Jorge Soler. Lined out to short his first time up. 2-11, and that's going to be a ballpark single check. It's 1-7, and that is a 7 right on the number. So that's going to be a base hit. It's only 1 star. The bases will now be loaded. Bases are now loaded for Maikel Franco, who homered his last time up. Bases loaded, 1 out, infield looking for that double play to get out of the inning. So they are back in double play position. 2-12, and that's a Lomax. Look at that. We got a Lomax right here for a double play. Lomax on the 2-12. So Franco lines it right to the second baseman, Marte. Marte will flip it over to the shortstop, Ahmed, for a 4-4-6 double play. That's how I'll score it. And Gallen gets out of the mess. The old Lomax strikes again. So we go to the bottom of the third, still 1-0. Top of the order now for the D-backs. It's Marte, and Escobar. So double Marte. Like a double martini, we got a double Marte. 5-4. And that's going to be a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Merrifield again. 3-3. Last time he unfortunately rolled a 1. This time he does it again. Another 1. Second time in a row, rolled a 1. That's incredible. The double die strikes again. It's another double. He's an E3, and that is an 11, and there's no error there, but it will be a double for the second time in a row. Second time in a row, Marte has rolled a center field X. Second time in a row, the double die has come up as a 1. Don't know what the odds are on those two things happening, but they just did. Here's the other Marte, Cattell Marte. 1-7, and that is a fly ball to right field. That's 1 away. 1 down. Here's Escobar. One 4, and that's a foul out to Perez. 2 down. So the D-backs endangering of leaving runners in scoring position again. Here's Christian Walker in a clutch situation. Christian Walker gains a hit on 2-9. Is neutral. 2-9, that strikeout becomes a single. 4-6, and that's a strikeout on Duffy's card to end the inning. Leadoff double goes for naught. We go to the 4th. It is still 1-0, Kansas City. And if you like Kansas City, you'll love that the game tomorrow morning is Kansas City again, but it's 1987. Kansas City at Minnesota for the American League Super Advanced 1987 replay. Be Charlie Lebrand against Burt Blyleven from the Metrodome. It's at 9 o'clock Eastern in the morning. 3-6, and that's going to be a ground ball second base, 1 away. Or to use a quote from one of my favorite movies, Clint Eastwood in Heartbreak Ridge. He said that's 0900. That's 9 o'clock for all of you that don't habla. So here's Alberto Mondesi. 1-7, and that's a fly to center. 2 down. 2 up, 2 down, and Nicky Lopez. I guess no relation to Jennifer Lopez. 1-9, and that's a fly to right field. 1-2-3 inning this time for Gallen. So a pint-sized inning off a Gallen on that one by the Royals as they come away with nothing. Here's Cole Calhoun. 6-9, lefty is a strikeout. Strikeout number 5. Cole Calhoun. He's struck out twice. Here's Ahmed. He struck out his first time. 1-11. This time he grounds it to short where Mondesi will make the play. 2 up, 2 down for Carson Kelly. Kelly a pop-up. First at bat. 5-5, and that's a ground ball to short. Mondesi will make the play again. Easy inning both sides. We go to the 5th. Still 1-0 Kansas City. The home run from Franco is held up. Gallen back out. His fatigue is the 6th inning. Duffy's, it will be the 5th. Duffy batting. Pitcher hitting card number 2. As a 3-9, and he's going to ground it to first. Easy play for Christian Walker. 1 away. Back to the top of the order for Gordon. Gordon has flown to center and walked. 2-5, and that's another walk. And Gallen has issued his 4th walk of the game. Here's Merrifield. Merrifield has walked twice. 2-8. This time he pops it up to second baseman Marte for out number 2. Now it's up to Perez, and Perez is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 4-6, and he's going to strike out again. He's got the hat trick. And for Gallen, that is strikeout number 4. 3 of them have come at the expense of Salvador Perez. So we go to the bottom of the 5th. It's still 1-0 here in Arizona. And this is the fatigue inning for Danny Duffy. It'll be LeCastro, Gallen, and Marte. 2-10 against the lefty. That's a base on balls. So Danny Duffy will walk LeCastro. That does set up Gallen to bunt. This is where, obviously, this is an obvious bunt situation with the pitcher up, and he is an A bunter. He'll become a B bunter, as the defense obviously is going to play corners in. Make sure there's no havoc. There's not. So we'll go to our bunt chart and see who fields it. So the white die is a 2, which says it's going right back to the pitcher, to Duffy. And he's a B bunter is Gallen. So basically 9 or less, he has a good bunt. That's a 12. That's terrible. 1 and 2 count. So now we're going to re-roll this and make sure there's no other havoc or anything. It's a wild pitch chance now. So it's a wild pitch chance on Duffy. And Duffy's wild pitch is an 11. And it is a wild pitch, so they won't have to bunt now because it's going to get him over there with a wild pitch. Unbelievable. So they'll go ahead and have Gallen swing away now with 2 strikes. That's a 2, so now there's a chance for a balk or a pass ball. Now we're looking at a balk chance, but Duffy has no balk. 2-7 against Duffy. The lefty struck him out. Strikeout number 6 for Mr. Duffy. And that'll take us to the top of the order. And Starling Marte. Tying run is at second base with 1 out. Marte is doubled twice. 4-9, and this time he will fly it to right field. That's 2 away. But Castro might tag up and try to go to third here. Let's take a look-see here. Double check my rules. Double check these really quickly. Yep, a runner on rule 14.3, fly ball, right field beater, right field only, a runner on second may advance with the calculation of a +2. All right, so he's a 17, +2 is a 19. Arm of Soler is a 0. So 1 to 19, he makes it 20, he has to hold. Actually, 20, he'd be out. But because your safe chances all up to 20. But so he will get to third base on that fly to right field. So there's 2 away with the runner at third. And Ketel Marte, the batter. Clutch situation for Marte against lefties. He gains a couple of hits on 1-6 and 1-7. Also gains a hit on 2-11. 3-7 is a double. RBI double for Mr. Ketel Marte, and the D-backs just tied this ball game. RBI double from Marte. High score. And now Duffy's almost on the verge of fatigue. Let's see if he can get through the inning with 2 outs. There's Escobar, who loses a couple of hits in the clutch right there. 110, 111, 112, and 2-9. So 1-7, he will ground to second to end the inning. So 5 innings in the books, and we're tied at 5 apiece. That might be all for Duffy. We'll have to see. Right now, Zach Gallen, this is his fatigue inning. And he'll be facing Soler, Franco, and O'Hearn for the Royals. Top of the 6th, 1-1 ball game here at Chase Field. 6-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We are looking at the shortstop, Ahmed. He's a 1E20. Well, the 1, he knows he's going to get to it. We're just worried about the E20 part. And that's 12. So it's a shortstop. E12 E12 for shortstop. E20, there is no 12 there, so play for way. Here's Franco. His home run is accounted for the only Kansas City run of the game. 1-7, and that's a ground ball. Well, he had loaded column one, but he found the ground ball to short. Back-to-back ground outs to short. 2 away for Ryan O'Hearn. 5-10, and that's a walk. Gallen with his 5th walk of the ball game. O'Hearn no threat to run. Here's Mondesi. That's a 1. Wild pitch ratings of 13. And he does uncork the wild pitch. So now runner in scoring position for Mondesi. And now it's a clutch situation. In the clutch, he will lose a couple of hits, 3-3 and 3-6. Those hits get changed to outs. 3-7, though, is going to be a strikeout, straight up. And that's going to do it for the Royals. And they may let Gallen. Looks like Gallen's going to go one more inning. He still has some fatigue left. They like to get Duffy through this inning because he bats second in the next inning. Go to the bottom of the 6th, still 1-1. It's Christian Walker, who Duffy has struck out twice in a row, followed by Calhoun, who Duffy has struck out twice in a row. 3-8, and this time it's a base on balls. And for Duffy, that is walk number 4. So now the Kansas City bullpen is starting to loosen. And I'll go to the box score from the previous game and make sure I don't use a guy that was used in game 1. I want to use somebody different, if at all possible. So let's look at the pitching for Kansas City. They used Barlow, Staumont, and Kennedy. So I will pull them to the rear and make sure I don't use them. But we still got several other guys here. We got right-handers Newberry, Rosenthal, Zimmer, and Holland. And we got left-handers, and Zuber. And we got left-hander Gabe Spire. So a lot of options there. So it looks to be, boy, who do we go to here? They're going to go to Kyle Zimmer is loosening in the bullpen. Not in yet, but he's loosening in the bullpen. They got lefty-lefty matchup coming here with Cole Calhoun. So this might be the last batter that Duffy faces. That is a 6-7 lefty-lefty. And that's a single to center field, and that's going to do it for Duffy. Walker will stop at second base, but that's going to be it for Duffy. He's going to go 5+. Cannot record it out here in the 6th. And Kansas City will go to their bullpen. And they will bring on Kyle Zimmer, right-hander. He did not pitch in game 1. So -1 makes him a -4. Now, the question is, do they want to do a double switch? That is the other question. Is there any thought of a double switch? And what position will they double switch with is the other question. Last guy that made it out was Mondesi, but he's a good fielder. You don't want to take him out. O'Hearn's a possibility. So he's somebody you could possibly, sub out. Boy, or do we just let, what? They got enough pitching that, enough pitchers there that they're going to let Zimmer try to get out of the inning and just pitches one inning and be done with it. So we're not going to have a double switch after all. Due up for the D-backs is Nick Ahmed. Nick Ahmed against the righty Zimmer. 6-9, and I need to check Zimmer's. Well, I'll do that after the at-bat. 6-9 is going to be a walk. It's going to load the bases. So the bases are now loaded with nobody out. And I do want to check and see what his injury chances are for Zimmer. Anytime you roll a 6 with a high number, sometimes you run into a situation where there's an injury. Zimmer is 612 also, so no worries there. His only entry chance is a 612. All right, so now Carson Kelly is up with the bases loaded and nobody out. And the Royals, boy, they're going to play the infield back so they'll play. They got to get outs. Too dangerous to play the infield in right now. 6-5, and it doesn't matter where they're playing right now because 6-5 is a 1-2 triple, 3-20 is a double. This could be a base clearing double. Almost certainly will be. Although Merrifield is a -2 arm, so we'll double check it. 2 runs will score automatically. Both of those are charged to Duffy, so we can close the book on Duffy. He's going to give up 3 runs. Now, let's see. Ahmed is a 15, not being held as a 16. -2 arm, 1-14, he would score. Since Kelly runs less than 13, he would not take third on the throw. So if he throw home, there's no cost to the defense. Question is, with nobody out, it's a 1-14. Boy, with nobody out, I think you're going to hold him here. I don't think you want to get your first out at third base. So they're going to hold him up. It's a 2-run double for Carson Kelly. And now the infield will come in for the Royals to face LaCastro. Five, 4. That's a catcher X. That is Perez. He's a 1E1. That's a 2. Boy, that's rough when you're the catcher and you're a 1 catcher and you roll a 2 with people on base. That's just terrible. 1 and a 2 is a W/G. So we got a wild pitch. W/G is an automatic wild pitch. So it's a wild pitch off of Zimmer, and that's going to score the run. 3 runs are now in, and going to third is Kelly, with still nobody out. Infield is in for LaCastro. 6-7, and that's a 1-2 double. Anything else he flies to center field, it's a B, sacrifice fly. And that will score another run. It's now 4 runs are in. It's 5-1. And Zimmer has definitely struggled, to say the least. Gallen's going to hit for himself. No reason not to. 5-10, ground ball third base X. We're looking at Franco. He's a 3E19. 3 and a 7. Might get a break. 3 and a 7 is a G3. That's a 10. Usually aren't many errors on 10s. E19. There's no 10 here either. So Franco makes the play. 2 down. And Starling Marte, your batter. 4 runs are in the inning. 1-4, ballpark single check, 1-7. That's a 1. So the double die strikes again. Another base hit for Marte. He's 3 for 4. He's going to look to get a lead. He needs a 2 through 5 or an 11, or if he gets the lead, he's going to go. 18 being held as a 16. -4 is a 12. Still a 60% chance, and you're playing with house money. 1-12, he's safe. And he got caught stealing. So that'll take care of that. But Abraham Lincoln 4-score inning, and the Diamondbacks take a 5-1 lead as they look to go 2-0 to start this Demolition League season. That's going to be it for Zimmer. He's done. He's going to go 1 inning, and he will give up 2 runs, which were earned. Gave up a walk, no strikeouts, and a hit. So for Duffy, he's going to give up 1, 2, 3. Actually, he gives up 2 hits there because I forgot about the single. So let's count this again. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits he gave up, but he walked quite a few. 1, 2, 3, 4 walks, and he struck out 6. But he's on the short end of the stick, and we'll get a pinch hitter for Zimmer to face Zach Gallen. So we'll go to the bench for the Royals and find somebody that they think can pinch hit. And it looks like it's going to be Franchy Cordero, a left-handed outfielder. Franchy Cordero. He will pinch hit here in the 7th. But first, it's going to be Nicky Lopez. Then it's Cordero, and then it's Gordon. And we'll figure out who the new pitcher for the Royals is going to be shortly. Here's Lopez. Lopez is 0 for 2. Oh, one of them got stuck here. Let's re-roll that. 5-7. Left-hander is a strikeout. So Zach Gallen, strikeout number 6. And now we get Franchy Cordero, pinch hitter. Got some pop in that column 2. But he found column 1, which is a ground ball to second. So he fails in the pinch, 2 down. Top of the order for Alex Gordon. 1-3 for Gordon. Ballpark single, 1-15. That's a base hit. Alex Gordon will reach on the 2-out single. Brings up Whit Merrifield. 3-10 for Merrifield, and that's a single, 2 stars as an anti-clutch, but we're not in the clutch situation. So it's going to be runners on the corners. 2 outs for Salvador Perez, who has struck out all 3 times. Gallen on the verge of being fatigued. 4-12, and that's a ground ball pitcher X to Zach Gallen. He's a 4 E0. We can't make an error. We'll roll, make sure there's no rare play. There's not. But he's a 4 on his range. So a pitcher with a 4 range has to have a 5 or higher to make the play. And he does. So Zach Gallen will throw out Perez to end the inning. And that'll do it for Zach Gallen. He will go 7 strong and leave with a 5-1 lead. 7 innings pitched. He gave up just the home run. That was the one mistake pitch. He did walk quite a few. He walked 5, and he struck out 6. And he gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits I've got him for. So nice outing there for Gallen. Now we go to the bullpen for the Royals. And see who's going to come in for them. And we are looking at Tyler Zuber, another right-hander. Another Z. We had a Zimmer and now a Zuber. Zuber Eats. I guess when he has lunch, it's called Zuber Eats. So Zuber is on. And he will be facing Marte, Escobar, and Walker. 5-1. We're at the bottom of the 7th inning stretch, but we're going to keep going. It's getting late enough already. I don't need to extend it any longer. 2-6 for Marte, and that's a 1-17 single. So base hit for Marte. He will not be held. Will not go anywhere. Here's Escobar. Eduardo Escobar, he's 0 for 2. 3-10, and that is a ground ball third base A. That is not a tailor-made double play, but it is an around-the-horn double play. 5-4-3. Pitcher's best friend, 2 quick outs for Christian Walker. 1-8, and that's a home run, 1-12. That's a 14. It will be a double for Christian Walker. 2-out double. Now, how big was that double play? Well, here comes Calhoun in a clutch situation. In the clutch, loses a hit on 112. Everywhere else is neutral. That's a 2-10, and that's a ground ball to short, and that will end the inning. So Zuber did his job. He's a one-inning guy. Give up 2 hits, but the double play got him out of the trouble. And now the D-backs will need a new pitcher. Let me go to the box score from the previous game and make sure I don't use one of them. Guerra, Ginkel, and Bradley were used. So we'll pick somebody else besides those guys. Let's see who else we might want to go to. They do have left-hander Alex Young, and they have left-hander Andrew Chafin. Neither one of them were used. They also have right-handers Stephen Crichton, Hector Rondon, and Lopez, as far as guys that were not used. 5 guys that weren't used that we could bring in. And with the Royals having right hand coming up, they will go with Stephen Crichton, or Stefan Crichton. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. So I guess it's pronounced Crichton. And he's a +9, makes him a +5. Well, the 5-1 lead, it may not matter. So Crichton, I'm going to call him Crichton. I'm not sure how it's pronounced, but that's what I'm going to go with. Where's ID Gesture when I need him? DJ, I just have weird thoughts in my head, that's all. Here's Jorge Soler. 5-6, and that's a strikeout. I couldn't script this stuff if I tried. All right, here is Maikel Franco. I'm too lazy to script it out anyway. 5-6, and that is another strikeout. Boy, Crichton coming out with blazing fire here. Strikeout upon strikeout, and here's Ryan O'Hearn. 1-7, and he strikes out. So Crichton very conveniently strikes out the side in his 1 inning of pitching. Can't ask for more than that. It will not be a safe situation in the 9th, so they'll go to some schlub to pitch the 9th. Right now, the Royals need a schlub to pitch the 8th in a 5-1 game. And they will turn to, let's see, it's going to be Ahmed, Kelly, and Castro, right-handers. So they will go to Greg Holland. Rosenthal is listed as their closer. Holland's like the secondary closer. So neither one of them pitched in game 1. So it's probably a good idea to get them some work here in game 2. Holland, let's make that a +1. So Holland will be facing Ahmed, Kelly, and LeCastro on a pinch hitter if we get to the pitcher spot. Whoa, dropping the dice here. All right, here is Nick Ahmed, 4-3, and that's ground ball first base X. We're looking at O'Hearn. He's a 4E14. 4-20, he'll get to that, but the 12 is a little interesting on an E14. As a first baseman, E14, there's a 12 right there. So O'Hearn boots it. E14 and a 12 is a 1-base error on Ryan O'Hearn. E3, and Ahmed will reach. There's Carson Kelly. So we'll get a pinch hitter for Crichton in the 8th inning. Going to be for the D-backs. Right now, here's Carson Kelly looking to add to this lead. 2-8, and that's a ground ball third base A. Not another tailor-made double play, but another around the horn double play. 5-4-3. So maybe they won't get a pinch hitter for the pitcher because now there are 2 outs and the base is clear for LeCastro. It's a 1-2. He's hit by the pitch plus injury, so the Castro is going to be checked for injury. He could have to leave. He possibly could have to leave this game. Go to our chart in the back of the rule book and get the injury chances. So we're looking at the batter here. 1 through 6, or 1 through 4, he can stay in the game. 5 or 6, he's just going to miss the remainder of this game. 7 or higher, he can miss more time. That's an 8. He's just going to miss 1 game. So, and since everything is done by a third, he's actually not going to miss anything. He's going to miss this game and nothing else. So he'll come out. They will have to bring in somebody else to play left field for him and run. So let's see who the left fielder will be. They will bring on Dalton Varsho to pinch run, and he will take over in left field in the 9th. He's going to pinch run in the 8th and take on left field in the 9th. And now, pinch hitter time. It'll be Josh Rojas pinch hitting for the Diamondbacks, rather. Josh Rojas will do the pinch hitting against Greg Holland with Varsho now at first. He could get a lead, but with the score being what it is, what's the point? Might as well just let him swing away. He will be held. That's a 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. That's a chance for a pass ball on Perez, but his pass ball rating is 0. 5-10, and that's a ground ball to second. That will end the inning. So Holland's going to go 1 inning, not give up anything. He hit a batter. That was it. So now we need a new pitcher for the D-backs to finish things out, and they will go to Yohan Lopez. Oh, actually, I take it back. We'll go to Hector Rondon. Hector Rondon will come on and try to close it out. No, it's a non-save situation in this 5-1 game. And he'll be facing Mondesi, Lopez, and a pinch hitter for Holland. And let's see who's left on the bench for the Royals that could pinch hit. You got Hunter Dozier, you got Ryan McBroom, and you got Bubba Starling. They also have Cam Gallagher, a backup catcher, but he's not very good. So we're going to pretty much go with one of these 3 guys. They're all right-handed, so there's no platoon advantage. And we'll go with the guy with the I'll go with Hunter Dozier. Why not? We'll go to Hunter Dozier. So Hunter Dozier will pinch hit here in the 9th. But first, it's going to be Mondesi and Lopez. Mondesi, 0 for 3. Looking to turn things around. That's a 6-11. We'll check Rondon for injury in just a second. 6-11 is a ballpark single check. That's a 16, and that will fail. Mondesi needed a 1 to 15. That's a 16. So he will line it to second base. Now I'll check the roster sheet and make sure Rondon did not get injured. His injury chances, he's a 6-12, so he's fine. 6-11 is not going to hurt him. So now with 1 out, here's Nicky Lopez. Nicky Lopez. It's a 1-3. He's going to ground to second, 2 away. Last chance saloon, it is Hunter Dozier, the pinch hitter. By 4, and that's a fly ball center field X. We are looking at Starling Marte, and he is a 2E3. It's a good chance to end this one right here. 2 and a 14 is no problem. We're just worried about the E3 because that is a 15. So an E3 center fielder and a 15. There's a 16 here, but no 15. So By the skin of his teeth, Marte makes the play, and there's your ball game. The Arizona Diamondbacks improved to 2-0. The Royals dropped to 0-2. Rondon, 1 inning pitched, gave up nothing. Winning pitcher is Gallen, and the losing pitcher is Duffy. For Arizona, 5 runs. They do it on 8 hits. And let's see, were there any Arizona errors? I don't think the Arizona had an error. I know Kansas City had an error, but I don't think Arizona did. Kansas City, a run, which was the home run from Franco. Just 5 hits and 1 error. That error being on the first baseman, O'Hearn. I think that was the only error of the game, if I'm not mistaken. That would be the case. So there you go. Game 9 in the books. The Arizona Diamondbacks improved to 2-0 with a victory over Kansas City by the score of 5-1. Player of the game, I'm giving it to Zach Gallen. He went 7 innings, only gave up 1 run. Solid outing. Marte certainly 3 for 4 is certainly a candidate as well. Maybe a co-MVP, if you want to call it that. So we look ahead to Game 10. It'll be the final 2 teams to play their second game, and that is Texas and Los Angeles. The Rangers won the Game 1 over the Dodgers. It'll be Ross Stripling against Mike Minor from Dodger Stadium, and that'll be sometime later this week. Not sure when. But anyway, that's going to be the game coming up. So, hello, ID. I didn't see you sneak in there. But yeah, this final score, once again, Arizona defeats Kansas City by the score of 5-1. And ID, I know you've already were one of the first people to go on the Strat-O-Matic website and make your pre-order. So I know you're looking forward to receiving that. And there'll be a big unboxing video from you when that happens. So we're looking forward to seeing that. Tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, Kansas City Royals and the Minnesota Twins will be at it. 1987 from the Metrodome. Charlie Leibrandt against Bert Blyleven. So thank you all for spending part of your Tuesday night with me. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road. Oh, you did add something to your cart. Very good. Can't wait to see it, ID. All right, everybody, have a great night.